You are a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You've got termites up your butt. You smell like rotten cheese. You give me nasty disease, Mr. Grinch. I had to make love to a sister crocodile. You're a sick one, Mr. Grinch. You steal from little girls. Every time I see you, it makes me want to throw up. You've got termites everywhere. You got lice, diseases, and more. You smell like diarrhea. You make me want to vomit, Mr. Grinch. I hope everyone's in the Christmas spirit. We had a great Christmas today. I got the Wind Waker HD. I got Wind Waker HD for the Wii U. Oh my gosh, I was so happy about that. Really surprised. I mean, I thought I was going to get it, but I was still surprised because... so this is great. It's time to draw the Grinch. What is Christmas without the Grinch? This is a classic. So let's get started on this, guys and girls. It's Christmas time. And to start, what I've been teaching lately, and this is something that's just been clicking with me, and that's why I keep teaching it. I can't stress gesture, sketch, gesture enough. Huge tip. You want to get your basic forms. Something, you know, that I teach with every one of my videos, I kind of go through different methods using shapes, lines, outlines, just, you know, throughout the whole year and 2 years almost of teaching. But the one thing I can't stress that's so important, this is a huge tip and this is huge. The one thing that you should have in common, regardless of what method you use to get to a final drawing, you never ever want to start with the final drawing. In other words, you don't want to start with dark lines. You don't want to start doing it how it would look finally. You always want to start with a rough thing. And that's something to always keep in mind. So I'm going to show you just how easy it is and warming up my little hand here. And so with the Grinch, I'm just starting with, see this basic, it's almost, ironically, his face is like a heart shape almost. He's got these cheeks. And all I'm doing is roughing these little sketchy marks. There's little heads here. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. And see, I'm not really doing anything fancy. And then the hat. And all I'm doing is light gestures. I'm just marking the space. And this is really all it is. It's gesture marks. And like I keep stressing over and over, it's just to get a basic shape in. And gestures, to me, this has just clicked with me and it's helped me draw, it helped me improve. But see, I'm just keeping a basic thing, nothing fancy. Then, you know, maybe making a mark right here. That's where the two eyes go. And then the eyes are fairly big. So see one eye there. And like I said over and over, look at how messy it is. And there's a little space between the eyes. See that little space there? And like I said, don't worry if it's messy to start. We're going to erase things, we're going to add it. But look how simple, and right away you have this pose. Then for the body, the neck kind of comes down, so I'm just drawing the neck. And he's got this fluff, all the fluff here. And like I said, you want to keep it with your own style, even though I'm using, you know, Chuck Jones, the one that does all these cartoons, amazing director. And you can just tell his style. Whenever he does something, he's got this really neat style, this style of ridges. But look, all I'm doing is just a basic gesture, and see how, you know, it only took about 1.5 minutes, and I could even do it faster, but I want you to follow along. And like the arms coming down, I'm just doing basic tube shapes, and look how skinny it gets towards the end here. And the hands real simple shape. And he's got this real pot belly. He's disgusting looking. You're a filthy one, Mr. Grinch. You make me run and fart. And then you see he got all this, but notice his arm's skinny. Now this kind of comes up the elbow. Real loose lines. Like I said, I'm just making loose lines, nothing final. Then now we can kind of edit things, make it to our liking. So I'm going to start with the face here, and then the middle, really important, he's got this little tiny nose, and his nose kind of arches like that. And that's something you'll get used to when you draw. See how these little basic arches and little arches arch on the bottom, and then it kind of, it's got this upturned nose. Now I want to start with the cheeks here, because it's kind of got this little fuzz. Every little line's a little squiggly, so you want to do that. And it's not going to be exactly, but I'm just getting the basic shapes and little lines under here. See how that, and then this line from the mouth, and same on this side. And see how we just going over what we just gestured in. And, you know, make your own little lines, like fuzzy looking. This character is a classic. See that? And then for the mouth. But see how simple it is now that I got all that? And you could sketch the thing in first. And see, I'm just sketching here. And look how you're just making little fuzzy little lines. And right now he looks happy, ironically. But once you put those nasty, bushy eyebrows in, he looks disgusting. But like I keep saying, I really hope by teaching in this new way that I've been doing this whole month, I hope it kind of pushes you to try a different way, and also pushes all of you to see how it can really help you by doing different things. And the fuzz on the face, it just kind of comes down. And every little line is a little squiggly line. And you can do it your own way, like I always say with my videos. You could exaggerate the fuzziness. But see how it's just like that. You don't want to make every little, you don't want it to look sharp, you want it to look fuzzy. Then it kind of curves in. But see how I'm just going over that basic little forms? Oh, I can see the Grinch now! Merry Christmas! And then here's what makes him the Grinch, his big, nasty eyes with those dark red pupils. And so you make a big circle here. Saying you don't want to close in, but the eyes kind of go down. And this character is funny looking. And like that. And then his eyebrows, see how they curve? Oh my gosh, they look kind of like my eyebrows. But they got lots of little curves. But see, you can exaggerate it. I'm exaggerating a little here. You're the filthy one, Mr. Grinch. I love that song. And see his eyebrows, so menacing looking. He's got these huge eyes. And they're almost kind of perfect circles. Then within them, you got these two little, oh yeah! Now it's looking like the Grinch. And he's looking up at something. Notice how he's kind of looking up. You can make those little eyes, the pupils a little bigger if you want. But make them look like he's looking up at Santa Claus probably flying over him. He's like, what is that Santa doing? I'm going to kill him. And see how I'm just outlining that. And so there you go. And then, you know, if you want to really clean things up, which you'll get to, notice the eyebrows almost connect. He's got like a unibrow thing. Ugh, he's disgusting. He's a sick one. And then like that, and then, you know, you just add these little marks. But you can see we got the basic forms. And then what's going to blow you away is, all I'm going to do now is erase the lines. Let's get a little more like the hood. All it is a bunch of simple little, see how the little nice curves. And notice how each one is a little different. When you draw, you never want to draw things in a pattern. That's something I stress a lot. In other words, you don't want to make two small ones and a big one, or 5 small ones and 5 big ones. You want to keep it almost like natural in other words, you know, think of it as different each one. And make sure you have a lot of these reverse curves. See how it curves out and in, and see how it's got that nice fluffy look. And it's going to look a lot better. Just follow these basic things, and once I start erasing lines, it'll pop out more. But same with the hat. See how it just curves, and it's got these little curves here. And take your time doing it. I love this character, man. The Grinch, classic animated movie to watch each holiday year. And say, then this one will go under. Real simple, just reverse curves. And like I said, Chuck Jones style, if you watch any of his cartoons, he's always got that style. It's got these, notice how the curves are always kind of in and out, and it's just an amazing thing he does, you know, even with the Bugs Bunny cartoons he directs. And then the hat, you know, you don't want it to keep a straight line, but look how all I'm doing is going over the basic gesture. See, we got this real basic form in, and that's what I can't stress enough, because now it's easy. Now I'm just going back and designing it and making the hat look all worn out and old and kind of like him. It's like decrepit and sick looking, wrinkly. See, I'm just doing that. And see, it just kind of curves to the end here. Little tip there, and then the little, but see what I'm saying? I know I keep saying it, but look, all I'm doing is following the basic gesture marks I put in for the areas and spots, and now it's getting that. So let's clean up the face at least. I'll show you. This is the best part. You know, just go in, erase those lines you made, and once I add value and things, it'll pop out more. But this type of drawing is really great if you want to improve, because you'll start to do things that you'll start to draw things that you didn't think were possible before, because you're taking the time to get the basic forms in first. Let's see how it's starting to come along better. Oh, it's my hands getting a cramp. And see what I'm doing is erasing on the brush, and watch how this will just bring out the face. See the difference now? And you can take your time and erase even more. Like I said, once you put value in, you're not gonna see these little fine lines as much. And when I do these videos, I try to make the lines, the fine lines, a little darker, that way you guys can see. If you want, you know, you can move the nose up a little more. That way it's just sitting more in the eyes. You know, even make the eyes a little more wrinkles under there. Just, like I said, it's your drawing. You can exaggerate, do things different. As long as you get the basic form. And then, what I do is the body, real simply. This arm kind of comes down. And gets a little wider at the end. It kind of has this little peak where the fabric, notice how the little fabric kind of bulges over there. Like I said, it's a matter of wrinkles. See how there's little wrinkles all over here? Like, that's his style, and then it gets big again. Take your time and work that in. Same on this side. As it gets towards the end there, it does the same thing. And it's amazing how, you know, you watch the movie, you watch the thing, yet when you're told to draw it, it becomes this whole complex thing that, you know, it doesn't look complex when you're watching it. It looks, wow, that looks easy, you know, it's a cartoon. Then when you actually attempt to draw it, it's kind of amazing how much you have to know in terms of drawing and things. You see how that is? So let's finish this up real quick. And basically the hands, you want to make sure you get picture of the hands. He's got these real slender, creepy kind of looking hands almost. But make sure you draw the little things there. And see how it just overturns. Oh yeah, I remember what I was saying. This is very important. As you start to draw more and more, you notice little things. And that's why I said before in other videos, I really do believe you won't reach your peak of drawing until you're in your 20s. That's my opinion. I mean, there are a lot of really young artists who are incredible, don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying in terms of just in terms of like where your mind can see things visually more, I really do believe, because it's kind of like something about the way your mind develops, and then you can start to really see things in a new way. And that's just from personal experience and also my opinion. But notice how his fingers are slender. And then I'm just going to sketch it in. See how they kind of point at the end. And notice how they still got that fuzzy look to them at certain points. Then one there, and then he's got another coming out. So I'm just going to do the same thing. And the reason I say that is because when I look at the figure, the Grinch, when I first started, you know, I never really knew how to draw noses. Like when I was younger, I wouldn't even know where to start on this kind of drawing. And as you get older, you kind of develop more. And so the point is, like with noses, I have a better understanding of how noses should look. So when I draw this character, it gives me, I already know, I have a basic idea of how a nose should look so I can draw it better. I hope that makes sense. That's just something that's kind of, it's always kind of important to keep that in mind. So, you know, like I always stress, don't get discouraged. Just if you can't draw something yet, it takes time. Age is a factor and everything. Then with this other hand here, so I'm just doing the little simple things. It kind of curves inward. And notice how the hands are very realistic in terms of anatomy. They have a dynamic to them. And you want to make sure you capture that. Like, that's something that's always amazing about his animations. Even though they're cartoony, when it comes to hands, they have a dynamic approach. Almost like, I don't know if you guys heard of Bern Hogarth. He does a dynamic hands book, but it's kind of like that. And see, and then just the thumb would be back here. And you just have the thumb in the back. Same thing, make sure it's pointed. And you can shade the thumb in. But you know, that's basically it when it comes to the hands. I would make this hand a little bigger. I like to exaggerate the hands more. So I'm going to make the finger a little bigger here and the thumb. Kind of like that. Don't worry about little marks. Something like that. Basically, you know, that's the finished thing. All you got left to do is erase any other marks you made. On the bottom would be all the fluffy. You know, but erase those lines. Go back, make any darks, and shade the red. Wherever it's red, I'll put X's to shade it in. And the hands and the fur and stuff all red. And then just come in and erase. That's how you draw the Grinch, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned. Have a Merry Christmas, everybody. And let me know what gifts you got. Thanks, everyone.